Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
You're listening to the Express Yourself Hour, coming to you from sunny California. I am your host. Yes, I am Dr. Rosie Milligan, coming to you with nothing but straight talk, folks. That's how we do it around here. Nothing but straight talk. My co-host is the wonderful, you guys know, the AI man, Mr. Keith Swanson in his own right. People still looking for the AI man. Keith, how are you?
I'm doing good, Dr. Rosie. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. I tell you, AI is kicking up dust around here, right?
Oh, so AI and the bears are laying waste, man.
I know, everybody.
The black women lost, what, another 300,000 jobs?
Wow.
So AI's, And,
well, it's going to be a lot of jobs created, too, you know?
Yeah, you got to find your own because Amazon just started bouncing people, so.
Well, you know, we've always known how to make do, take nothing and make do, so we should not be worried about it.
Yeah.
We be going back to doing servant work, doing work that we used to do before, except we get paid for it this time.
We're gonna be making $1 out of 15 cents for real. So
we know how to make it holler. Absolutely. So you guys, we have a great show for you today, and I'm telling you, when I think about this, wow. Heal yourself or else. That's what we're going to talk about today. It is your responsibility. The question is, what happens if healthcare insurance disappeared? I know what you're going to say, but they can't do that. You know, people tickle me talking about what folks can't do. They can't do that. What if it disappeared? I never thought SNAP would disappear, but it did. So, folks, you're going to see things you've never seen before, but the question is, you know, if SNAP can be cut off overnight, what makes you think medical benefits are safe? So we must take the responsibility for ourselves, for our health, and for it all, you know, because healthcare providers and hospitals, the big conglomerate, folks, it's not about you. It's about the money.
It is.
They didn't build these hospitals and say, oh, because I want to make sure that people heal, that they feel good. No. Back in the day, you know, hospitals were built for different reasons, for the community, to help the people. But now, in a capitalistic society, did you bill? Not did you take care of that patient, okay? I just went through something this week with a family member, and I tell you, it was atrocious. But my thing is that we need to learn how to do something for ourselves. The average person, if the kid got scalded with hot water, they would call 911 and they would just stand there and wait till 911 comes. They wouldn't know how to do anything. They wouldn't know how to stop a bleed. We have just given our powers away to everybody and everything. That's why when your kid first sneezes, because you have insurance, you run to the emergency room. My mama didn't do that. She knew what to do. All I'm saying, folks, you better put on your thinking cap. You better wake up to ancestors and ask them, what can I do if there's no medical insurance? We have a wonderful guest with us today, someone I've known for a long, long time. Askia, well, you know, this last name, I'm just going to spell it. You all pronounce it if you can. It's Muwwakkil. Now y'all figure that out. But
Muwwakkil. Askia
Muwwakkil.
Muwwakkil.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. He is a holistic practitioner. He comes from a generation of healers, of practitioners. He's a motivational speaker, a health and business advocate. Welcome this morning, my guest.
How you doing, my sister? How you doing, my brothers? How y'all doing?
We're doing just wonderful. I am so happy to have you here. We got folks lined up. A lot of people, want to know how to survive, what they need to do. So when we think about heal yourself or else, what I mean, if you don't do it and do it for your family, you may find yourself in a world of trouble. We've given away too much of our power to the medical system. Now, what will you do when you have a chronic condition, diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney issues, and you meet a medical system that you can no longer afford? And folks, I know you don't want to stretch your imagination and say that here I am on dialysis, here I am, my kidney have failed, and I don't have insurance. Keith, I think we're going to be back in the day when you rolled up at the private hospital. If you didn't have insurance, they turn you away. You remember those days?
Yeah.
So you have to bust your way over to one of the county facilities.
You do, yeah.
One thing I think that we have got away from is just basically a lot of common sense. My mother from Tuskegee, Alabama. My great uncle was Booker T. Washington, herbalist MD. Dr. Alonzo Kennebrew, the first African American open hospital in the country. But one thing that my mother always told me, she said, they're in Tuskegee, Alabama, she said, when we saw a doctor coming down the road, we know somebody was getting ready to die. Because there was always some old lady or somebody out there in the field knew what to get and pull on the help with the body. We have got too accustomed to some medication, and 30% of my business now is from doctors. Doctors don't want to take the medication they give you. I said, Doc, why don't you take the medication? They said, shit, I ain't taking that shit. This is how I send my kid to college. I have a good lifestyle out of this, but I can't just put all this in my body. And we're so accustomed to put anything in our body, don't even ask the question, what background, how much research has been done on the drug. I mean, you got people now with COVID, having issues with COVID. Now they finally open up. When they first introduced COVID out, you couldn't sue them. The government, now you could turn around and halfway sue them now because people were coming down with, all kind of stuff.
All kind of stuff, yeah.
It's just time that we really have to think for ourselves. And my guess is absolutely right. And he comes from a long background of health practitioners. And what we're saying is that use common sense. We're not saying that it's something wrong with the medical system. Even the medicine that we get, many of them come from the roots of herbal products. All we're saying that think for yourself. I just want you to imagine. That's why I'm doing this show, okay? Hopefully it never come to that, but I just want you to imagine what would happen, and don't think that it cannot if you didn't have medical insurance, even if we have medical insurance. But if you have to now, your insurance costs escalate to $1,300 a month or $2,000. That's what some people are telling me. I'm saying if it escalates to that, would you be able to have medical insurance?
You need to get on. A lot of times we have to be proactive and stop laying down. Okay, especially since you got RFK in the White House right now. Okay, as the I forget what they call him, but and he's pushing for these programs, right, to get rid of this stuff and bring down medical costs. Okay, now's the time to really do it. We can't do like we did with Obama, where Obama got in and we thought, okay, he's in, he's gonna take care of everything. No, we got to be proactive. In fact, we got to push even harder to bring down medical costs because what's going to happen, the whole thing's going to collapse, is because people won't be able to pay it, and the greedy people in D.C. and the greedy people in these medical insurance and these hospitals and doctors and stuff like not necessarily the doctors, but these hospitals are making all this profit. Okay, it's going to get to the point where it's going to collapse because they're going to get too greedy, and we're going to have to start doing something. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And one other. Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You're my guest.
No,
you're the guest.
No. What I'm saying is a lot of things that we have to look at is common sense stuff.
Common sense stuff, yeah.
Common sense stuff, because first of all, go get a checkup once a year at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, we'll wait till the leg fall off and then go see what's wrong with my leg. Okay. Yeah. Second of all, some of the major things that we suffer with as a people is high blood pressure and diabetes.
Right.
And because usually if you go to the doctor with blood pressure problem, he's going to give you some cholesterol medication too.
Yeah, yeah.
You see? And a lot of that is not really the physical body. Disease come out of disease. I'm upset. Some people mad at their brother and sister because they took a cookie when they 6 and they're 66 and still
hold to it, yeah.
We hold on to a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pain will affect your body.
Mm-hmm.
Stress, your body, disease come out of disease.
Yes, it does.
I'm diseased in my head, and disease happen in my body.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, just learning simple things like blood pressure that you can work on yourself in a lot of cases by just changing your attitude about life.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you remember Dr. Ferguson, right? Keith, did you remember Dr. Ferguson?
Yeah, I remember Dr. Ferguson, yeah.
Well, Dr. Ferguson shared with me on his deathbed, he had a conversation with me. He told me, he said, you know, all of this about all the salt and all of this that's impacting people, you know, with kidney problems. He told me, he said, think about it. When you live in a world that you are constantly in a flight or fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that's constant. He said he felt that has more to do with black folks and kidney problems than salt. That's what he said to me. Mm-hmm. He had kidney problems before he even went to medical school, because he said all his life he had been under a lot of stress before he started medical school with his family. And he really just traced back how that we're constantly in a flight or fight stance. That has to impact the kidney. Now we have a great doctor on the phone here with us, and I know a lot of times they don't like to get involved in these conversations, but I think a lot to do with a lot of people that's ill today has to do with stress, racism, discrimination, fear. I mean, there are a lot of people that live in constant fear. What if they cut this off? What if the insurance is gone? What if the rent goes up? If I have to move, right now they thinking, will I become homeless? That's on the top of a lot of people's lips right now. I never heard so many people before thinking about not having a roof over their head. That used to be the thing that you felt was rightfully due to everybody to have a roof over their head. It's too much fear. Kids are fearing, what if my mama died? I've heard people talking about that, you guys.
Yeah.
What if my dad had passed away?
Yeah.
Oh,
I grew up in Compton. We never saw homeless people. Homeless is something new to us.
Yeah.
Even the wino had a place to go after the liquor store closed.
You're right.
He didn't fall asleep at the liquor store and see him in the morning. He'd go home and then come back and get drunk.
There's plenty of homes. It's just plenty of homes. It's just because Dr. Rosie had a guest on, and she said there's 48,000 homeless people in L.A. and there's 98,000 empty units.
Yeah.
Plenty of homes. It's just money. It all comes down to money.
It's just time. It's time for black folks to think. You got to think survival. You got to think survival. That's what I'm talking about. From every aspect of your life, how do we survive in these United States of America? That's why we're doing this show.
It's so true. See, the other aspect that we deal with a lot of times, we eat from the Southern background. A lot of times, we eat to get full, not to get nutrition. You see, you go down south with a pocket full of money and be thin, and you see an old auntie and she ain't seen you while you thin, got a pocket full of money, and she say, "Why you so poor?"
That's right.
Yeah.
And,
See, being down south, a sign of poverty was being thin.
and
Being
prosperity.
overweight means that you can work.
Right.
So we take this attitude of just, hey, I can't eat another drop. Hell, you was full an hour ago, but you kept on eating. Why?
Wow.
Because that's that old Southern background. I gotta eat everything.
And you have to
Eat all the food
house
on
you
your
stop
plate.
at.
Yeah. People eat for stimulation now is because a lot of times they eat it because they're bored. Okay, they don't have nothing to do, and a lot of people's, I see, the way they teach you, especially the women nowadays, is, what do you do for fun? They go eat.
Now, Keith, don't make me mad talking about women today.
Well,
Men do the same thing.
I wish.
No, but I know grown men that sit up there, I gotta get me a woman to cook for me. Hell, a woman ain't gotta cook for me. I cook for myself.
Well, we got a lot of stuff. But look, think about this, you guys. It's no more excuses. Your eating habits are sending you to dialysis.
Yeah.
Your eating habits are sending you for amputation. Now, here's what bothers me. And we're going to let our guests, I know they got something to say. Here's what bothers me. When I see the hospital filled with patients with self-inflicted conditions, that troubles my soul. For you to put yourself in a position to have to go to dialysis 3 times a week, your wife, your kids have to take you. I've seen some. I knew one family, the mother told the daughter, she said, well, can you allow, these people who pick you up, what you call it, Keith?
Ambulance?
No, you know how they have, some of these plans have, I can't think of the name of it right now.
Medical transport.
Medical transport. And her mother said, I'm not riding that because they gonna pick up somebody else over here and drop somebody over here. And I'm sitting there thinking, you a cold piece of work. You done push yourself to dialysis, and now you want your daughter to drop everything 3 days a week and take you to dialysis, and you can't ride on the public transportation and come and pick you up at your house and bring you back.
Right.
It bothers me when people have self-imposed conditions, and then they want everybody to stop.
Yeah.
That bothers me. So I'm going to tell you something. Black America, there's such a disparity in health care for black folks, whether you believe it or not. I'm telling you what I know. You best to go back and start taking care of yourself better. And you're going to have, most time, you have the poorest of insurance even when you have it. So, folks, it's not right. Our forefathers, our people fought too hard. We've come too far. Our ancestors have done too much for us to end up so dependent. Farrakhan said we couldn't give ourselves water. We don't have our own hospital. We can get so mad at the white folks, but we still got to go. Can I come to your hospital, Mr. White Man? Can I have some of your water? What do we have independently that we can say it's ours?
Yeah.
See, this what make folk blood pressure go up, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, and it's so real. Like I said, a lot of things can be simply handled by you.
Yeah.
But we got to find the power inside ourselves to handle the things. Like I said, first thing you do, go get you a checkup once a year at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see what could. It says have faith, but tie your camel.
Yeah.
Have faith that ain't nothing gonna go wrong, but tie your camel, and it won't run.
Yeah, and they can run a blood screen, and because I had a blood screen ran a couple of years ago, and it came back with like 500 results to tell you everything that's inside you as far as they run 600 tests. So,
and Keith, we have too many black folks who want to be paranoid. It's not that they're paranoid. They just trying to find an alibi because they don't want to go to the doctor. Don't want. I don't trust them. Remember Tuskegee? But you remember what whiskey can do to you. You remember what drugs can do to you. I don't see you all running from that. Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, here's something that we black men have to deal with: prostate cancer. But you find that Africans don't have the same rates of prostate cancer that African Americans have.
Don't have the
Why
same
is
food.
that? Their diet is different.
Their diet is different, very much different. Yeah.
They eat a whole different. We're from the same bloodline, but they don't have the same issue because they don't eat like we do. We got to question what the white man gave us and what we kept on eating after it should have been thrown away in the trash.
That's true. That's true because they put stuff in to make the bread. Like bread is only supposed to last 2 or 3 days, right? Not 6 weeks.
Well, let's think about this, you guys. What if your insurance company dropped you tomorrow? Let's go to the caller. Let's go to some of the people that's online. What would you do if your insurance company dropped you, your husband, and your kids and your grandmama off tomorrow? What would you do? Elaine, Brenda, Donna, somebody out there. Somebody talk to me. Dr. Berry, talk to me. Somebody say something. Holler if you hear me.
Hi, this is Elaine.
Go ahead,
Go ahead, Mrs. Stanley. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
Okay, so I have always believed in holistic medicine. Take an onion, cut it, put it in your sock. My mother used to give us Vicks and make us swallow that. And I had a doctor say, "Oh my God, that's poison. Why? Don't do that. It could kill you." I'm like, "Really?" I went home and did another tablespoon of it. The thing is that things that our parents and our grandparents did, if you stay with those things, eating things that grow under the ground, making soups and stuff, all those kind of things help nourish the body. I mean, I see people that are my age, and I'm just like, when am I going to fall off the face of the earth? Because I'm like, how come they look so beat up? They look beat up. So the thing is, it's how you take care of yourself and how you see yourself too.
Yeah, how they would give you cod liver oil. They knew once a year they would deworm you. People deworm their dogs, but they let their kids walk around with, stuff that's been in them for 6 months, and wonder why they're sick. Wow. Dr. Berry, you had something to say. Thanks, Elaine. We missed you.
Well, as a practitioner, it's frustrating because there's a lot of aspects. I do not argue with the fact that stress and stress caused by racism, which is real, because I see it every day, whether implicit or otherwise, is a real compounding factor to Black health. There's no question about that. Nutrition, there's no question about that. That nutrition or lack thereof leads to disease. But what do you do when people just won't do right, to put it in another way? You've got this disease, and they're not going to change their diet. They're not going to exercise. So do you tell them, well, if you're not going to do these things, then we're not going to give you the medication that we know can help you? Or you get somebody, I had a patient who was pregnant, because I only deal with pregnant patients, and she was floridly diabetic. Sugar's all out of control, which puts her at increased risk of birth defects in the baby and stillbirth. And she would not take insulin because she said that her mother took insulin and it, quote, messed her up, unquote. So there are a lot of aspects to all of this. And I have no issue with good eating, with stress reduction, with exercise. Only 26% of people, according to Dr. Google, exercise regularly in America, and they don't even define what regularly is. You could exercise every Saturday consistently 1 day a week, that's regular. But, to get into the realm of 3 or 4 times a week, which is probably what you need, we don't exercise and we eat like crazy, as was pointed out to before. So the bottom line is, I think that there are a lot of aspects to this, and part of it is our mentality. And I think COVID brought out a very problematic mentality on the part of a lot of Black folks. Because I don't care what anybody says, there is scientific evidence that vaccination against COVID saved lives. And there was all this crap on the internet, which I could get into, but somebody else has to talk here. So, anyway.
Well, we appreciate you, but let me ask you this question. I had a medical doctor say to me that how disturbing it is for her to watch patients in the hospital who are self-imposed condition. She talks about how sad it just makes her. And they require most of your time. You got to spend more time with them. And that's why a lot of times they don't even want to give certain people kidneys or livers. They feel like, well, for what?
I mean, I don't argue with patients. And let me say that first of all, 95% of the patients I take care of look like me, and I look like them, right? I may not sound like them, but I look like them. And 80% of that 95% will do almost anything I ask them to have a healthy baby. So let's put that on the table, that most people want to do right. But then you get that 15 to 20% with that medical condition that I term KH, which stands for knucklehead. And it makes you pull your hair out. But you can't, I don't get into them with it anymore. Under my breath or to myself, I'm asking them, what medical school did you go to? And I'm not always correct. I'll never tell anybody that. But, I give them the best advice I can give them. And then, they have to make the decision that they want to do what is probably best for them. Right. And they're willing to listen to Dr. Google and Dr. TikTok, but they're taking their time to come see me, and they don't want to listen to Doc Barry, So, whatever.
Wow, and that's interesting. You're right. There are people, they getting that information from every place, but I don't care where you get the information from. It back to what my guest said. What did you say? Have some common sense. And that's what you said, Askia?
And I like patients to go on the internet and inform themselves. I just always tell them, go and read about it. But just remember, the internet is the biggest source of information in the world, and it's also the biggest source of misinformation. So let's talk about it,
Yeah. So the main thing is common sense, folks. It's going back to what we used to do. But I really want you to think about, if you did not have medical insurance, if it were cut off, you're asthmatic, you don't have any insurance, what would you do? I just want people to think outside of the box. If something like that happened, what would you do? But most people I don't want to think about that. That can't happen. Folks, anything that's possible can happen. I just want people to start thinking outside of the box and start thinking about what it is that they can do if something should happen to them. Dr. Andre, you had a comment? Okay. Then we're going to move forward. Folks, it's real. When we say heal yourself or else, think about it. I know you know some people that every time any little thing happens, they're in the doctor's office. They're in the emergency room. The emergency room and urgent care facilities are packed out 24/7 with some people that could have been at home. Any little thing go wrong. You give a person insurance, I don't know. I'm going to hold some of my thoughts. If they didn't have insurance, I guarantee you that people would be taking better care of themselves. Medicare is good that it came in so folks could have medical care. But I guarantee you, if we didn't have it, a lot of people would be living their life differently. What do you think? My guess, Askia, do you think people live differently if they didn't have insurance? It's something to think about.
They would have to educate themselves and not eat the same kind of thing because they can't depend on the doctors. Sometimes we use doctors and medicine as a crutch instead of changing what we're supposed to change.
I think my guest got muted by mistake. Let's see if we can. Askia, are you there?
He might have muted on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Brenda.
Okay, here I am. Here I am.
Okay.
The question I was asking, do you believe that if most people did not have medical insurance, Blue Cross, Red Cross, Medicare, Medicaid, do you believe that they would live their life differently if they couldn't pack out these urgent care? I mean, you go to any urgent care.
Yes, they would. Yeah, most definitely they would. You know, you have to look at all. If you want to live, you're gonna try the best way to live. A lot of things that our people do, like I said before, it's like in our diet. Now, I went through neighborhoods, the black community, our community, and I went into the European community. You know what I did not see in the European community, like I see in ours, is tilapia fish.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I mean, we'll eat anything to get full, not to get nutrition.
Yeah.
It's just a different attitude that we have about ourselves as a whole. When you don't love yourself, so we have to understand, all slaves did not want to be free.
Yeah. Tilapia. Most tilapia is raised on fish farms. It's not wild caught. Yeah. And what they feed them is not always the best thing. So they feed them all kind of junk.
No,
so.
like I said, we eat to get full, not to get nutrition. That's a whole different attitude that you have to have.
Yeah.
You know. Go on.
The major thing about what we eat, I want to say, is so important. Is how long it stays in your system. That's what's killing you.
That's true.
Because a lot of people, they sit all day, they're not exercising, they're constipated. I've had clients who say to me that they have a bowel elimination once a week. Well, the doctor says it's okay. It's normal. It's been that way for years. Folks, now you know, ain't no doctor told you that's normal for you to have a bowel movement once a week, knowing how you eat. And that's one critical issue.
Those are people that you can't make sense of, you know, because they're so full. I'll leave it at
that. Of it, huh?
But you know, one thing that I would add is that eliminate poverty, and you could eliminate. I used to tell people if I could give prescriptions for jobs and housing, I could eliminate a lot of health problems. And you know, and that goes back to nutrition. If you're poor, you can't afford healthy food. You know, you may be able to cut down on some of the junk by going to farmers markets, etc. But healthy food costs more than non-nutritious junk food. It just does. And if you've got 5 kids that you have to feed, you're in a pickle. And then the concepts of what's healthy and what's not, I've been railing against, and this is from a medical doctor. I've got 5 boys living with me who love cow's milk and eggs. And I'd say over and over again, I wouldn't do it, you know. Yeah. There are studies that show that kids at age 5 and 6 on autopsy already have signs of atherosclerosis. But so it's money, and it's also our mindset of what's healthy and what's not healthy.
And it's what we look at as food. Like I said, I know one of my clients was one of the biggest drug pushers in the Midwest. He made so much money, but he got out the business, and he said when he got out the business, he went into the restaurant business. He said, I make more money on salt and sugar than I did on cocaine.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said they'll call me at 12 o'clock at night wealthy people to cook them something with salt and sugar as the main ingredient. We don't even look at seasoning. We just say salt and sugar. I tell people don't have garlic salt, onion salt, pepper salt. Get you the powder. Don't get the salt. So it's our concept of eating what we eat. We eat, like I said, to get full, not to get nutrition. So a lot of times, eating something like a carrot or a vegetable, a lot of times children growing up not looking at that as food.
Yeah,
they're looking at the sugar.
They don't even want fruits and vegetables. And on the other note with that, we have to look at what the pH balance, in the body has to do with wellness and sickness. And most people, when they start their breakfast off, dumping nothing but sugar in their body. They're going to have syrup, a glass of orange juice. They have pancakes, almost everything. They don't know what a piece of fruit is. So almost everything on that plate, they're dumping it into their breakfast meal, So, folks, I'm telling you, it is more critical. And parents, it amazed me, you guys, when I see children going over to McDonald's eating breakfast, when I know you can cook a full-course breakfast in 30 minutes or less. So I'm saying, why are you doing that? Why are you sending those kids, giving them money to go? Because if that's the way, then they're going to do that to their kids. And now we have a generation, and you're saying, well, I got high blood pressure, it runs in my family. Y'all eating it the same way. That's what's running in your family. So they're going to feed their kids the way you fed them. Go to McDonald's, go buy breakfast. That is so crazy. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm telling you, only message I'm trying to send, heal yourself or else. In other words, substitute and say, take care of your health. Take responsibility or else. You have no idea what's taking place when you enter into these hospitals. Folks, it's a whole new day. I hate to tell you, you got folks there, and especially now, you got visiting nurses making $1,000, $2,000 a day. They're flying all over here. Nobody committed to a lot of situations. So you think it's cute to be laying up there in the hospital bed. You'd be surprised sometimes. Stop laughing, Dr. Bear.
I laugh out of recognition, trust me.
You'd be surprised who's taking care of you. Just this week, I had to visit a relative in the hospital. Keith, I had to tell the nurse, he's dehydrated.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, you can tell, with the turn of the skin. Good nurses in my days could diagnose you before you went to x-ray. Before you had lab. Oh, yeah. Then they called the doctor, and he told them to start an IV. Okay? Next day I go back. The person, there's blood in the urine with the folic acid. I had to say, you guys, this is blood. Okay? Took a picture of it. Called the doctor.
Yeah.
You need to do a hemoglobin and hematocrit. Okay? Well, we'll tell the doctor. They did. Okay? 4 days later, that person still had blood in the folate. Yeah. Nobody thought to say, do we need to repeat this hemoglobin and hematocrit? It was 39. The next time they did it, it was 28. Now, you guys, so keep thinking it's cute to neglect your body. Because you got insurance. Well, if I get sick, I got a good doctor. They brag, huh? Well, I have a cardiologist. The neurologist saw me. It tickled me how people boast about how many doctors they see. They think that's cute. Keep it up. I'm trying to send a message to you. You need to take care of yourself. It's about money. It's about money. Many times when you in these hospitals.
It is about money.
The major thing is you have inadequate, I hate to say this being not a former nurse. I'm a licensed registered nurse now. I don't practice. I haven't done it for years. I've taught nursing. And it's amazing. When I go into facilities, what I see now, it's so scary to me. And I think if you knew what I knew, you would take better care of yourself. Because people assume, well, if I go to the hospital, I'm in good hands.
Yeah.
It's not always true, folks.
Yeah,
Well, hospitals are proven dangerous places. They are. You know, 80% of hospitals in the U.S. are not for profit. However, the insurance companies, I don't think there are any insurance companies except the government insurance that is not for profit. Insurance companies are in this day and age out for profit. And because of that, there's something obscene about CEOs of insurance companies being paid $3, $4, $5, $10 million,
Right.
and you know, not physicians so much, but the ancillary people in the hospital being paid peanuts. But a lot of hospitals are struggling, and a lot of hospitals are going to close over this whole Medicaid
Right.
thing.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a profit motive that's unfortunate. There is a slight good side because the only way you're going to hold down healthcare costs is to stop unnecessary testing and unnecessary procedures. Because I've worked on the insurance side of it, but it goes too far in many cases. I'll be the first to admit that. The other thing I'm going to throw in as an aside, Dr. Rosie, you were talking about breakfast. Once a week, I have to admit, I have a breakfast of bacon, eggs, grits, and a pancake. Only once a week. The rest of the time, I'm peanut butter, banana, and yogurt. But I call that bacon and egg grit pancake my wheelchair breakfast. And the reason I call it that is because if you eat that every day, you're going to wind up in a wheelchair, either because you're so obese that you can't walk or because you've had a stroke. So once a week, I indulge.
Wow, that is powerful. But you know what you said that's really critical? You're right. There will be there are going to be a lot of hospitals that's going to be closed.
Yeah.
Then what you're going to do, that's why I'm saying heal yourself for health. Take responsibility of your health now. You're not going to always be able to run up in urgent care or set up in an emergency room all night. Folks, it is coming down the pipe. You just watch and see. I know without a doubt, a lot of these hospitals going to close, and particularly if this insurance thing health insurance does not change, where people have to have, $1,300 and $2,000 a month. That's what happened with Morningside Hospital, Keith, here in L.A. I used to work there. That's what forced them to close because they had so many indigent patients. See, and during the time when the ambulance would pick up a patient, the emergency, team would route them as to which hospital to go to.
Right.
So if they didn't have insurance, they sent them to Morningside.
Yeah.
If they had insurance, they sent them to Sentinel or Daniel Freeman. So that's what broke Morningside Hospital, And that's why we got to really think about it. Just think if you wake up, you got to sit 2 days or be in the emergency room 2 days before you can be seen by a doctor. Folks, I know what you're going to say. That'll never happen in America. Keep on thinking that.
Keep on thinking, yeah.
Well, the other thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that these Medicaid cuts are going to affect all of us. And the reason being is because they're going to get it one way or the other, the insurance companies, and as the hospitals can't get paid for indigent patients or patients without money, they're going to jack their rates up and they're going to demand that the insurance companies pay more, and the insurance companies are then going to raise everybody's rates. That's how insurance works. It's a pool, and it's a risk pool.
Yeah,
so,
it is a risk pool. That's what they're saying. Yeah.
And they don't intend to lose. They don't intend to lose.
Right. There's a book that I have. It's called How to Get Out of a Hospital Alive.
I need to read that one.
I don't believe you, Askia.
No, I believe. Pull it up for you right now.
That's a book. I need to read that.
We need to read that one.
The name of it is How to Get Out of the Hospital Alive. A guide to the patient power.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Exactly.
I haven't
So,
heard of that book, but I believe it strongly because I thought at one point, I have a lot of male friends, obviously, and they ask me for medical advice, even though I'm a gynecologist. And so I give them advice and I tell them, now you go back and tell your doctor that your gynecologist told you. But when my friends go in the hospital, I'm completely paranoid that they're getting the right treatment because hospitals are dangerous places. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Somebody
become,
pull it up, because I'm getting this. I got it right here. Pull it up, Rosie, if you can, or one of y'all brothers. It's called
Well,
How to Get Out of a Hospital Alive, a guide to a patient power.
okay.
well, I'm going to definitely get that book. So
so
all of
Dr.
this,
Rosie,
yes, go ahead.
yeah, this is Elaine. Yeah, so I wanted to mention two things. I was speaking with a friend, and she's like, "I don't know what's going to happen when the cost goes up." She says, "I think I'm going to get a part-time job at a nursing home, and then when people die, I'm going to take the medicine that they leave."
Ooh,
I'm
that's not
like,
good. That's
"Whoa,
not good.
it's not good." But I think that there's a market where people they need medicine and they're going to use their neighbor's medicine. They go in the neighbor's cabinet, go steal the medicine out of the medicine cabinet, stuff like that. And I think that we're going to start to see people having adverse reactions because the medicine's not right for them. But they're like, I'm going to take this. I need antibiotics. I can't go. And also, I believe I've been looking at having a hydroponic system in the house so I can then have vegetables and things growing that I could make
Okay.
soups or, I think that I have land here that I could grow outside, but of course that doesn't stop somebody from coming by your house
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
throwing something on your garden or something. So I think having hydroponic systems in your home
Yeah.
may be a good,
Yeah.
another option.
And another good thing is basically since you do have AI, you have the internet and Google, all kind of stuff. If you have conditions, especially with an AI, man, go ahead and tap in, your issues into the AI and have it give you some suggestions, so you can actually run it by your doctor, so
Yeah, but
they can actually narrow it down. Go ahead,
yeah,
Dr. Rosie.
but make sure that you don't for tax. We're dealing with law and with medicine. It's good to get your information, but don't totally rely
No,
on it.
don't rely on it. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because AI will hallucinate when it doesn't have the answer. It do like the average person. You know how you ask somebody something they don't know, they're gonna tell you something.
No, AI
They
will do
won't
that.
say
Yeah.
it. Why people won't just say, "Dr. Barry, help me"? Why people can't just say, "I don't know"? What's wrong with "I don't know"? Even
Right.
the kid, well, it's probably. I don't want to hear nothing about no probably. When I need an answer,
Yeah. It's pride. And because, you're, as a physician, you're put on a pedestal and you're supposed to know everything. And I have said I don't know. I choked on it the first couple of times, but that was decades ago. I'm comfortable with it now.
so folks, I'm telling you, you guys don't take this show lightly. Talk to your parents. I'm serious. Talk to your children, your grandparents, your friends. Really start having this conversation. What if you didn't have this insurance? What would you do?
But
It's Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry to cut you, Dr. Milligan. I'm Donna. I'm a registered nurse. You know what? Not many people have insurance. So there's a population out there already facing this kind of issue, and they don't have insurance. So
Well,
there's a lot of teaching that needs to be done.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, anybody that they're penalized now if they don't have insurance when they do that tax. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, that's true.
If you don't show proof of insurance, you're
Yeah.
penalized.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? How you gonna penalize the poor for being poor? This is crazy.
I thought they got rid of the
Well,
penalty.
No,
No,
the
you're
ACA is still in.
penalized.
The ACA is still in effect.
You'll be penalized if you don't
At
have.
No,
least it
no,
was. We'll have to see what next year happens
right.
with Trump. But
Now, I'll tell you something that's so ironic to me. You all know who invented Obamacare, right?
the
It wasn't
Clintons,
Obama. Huh?
it was the Clintons. Yeah.
No,
Oh, who
no.
was
It
it?
was the Republicans.
Okay.
Republicans invented Obamacare. That's
Okay.
why Romney, as Republican governor of Massachusetts, put it into effect.
Okay.
And when he was on the debate stage with Newt Gingrich got all over him for instituting Obamacare in Massachusetts. And Romney turned to him and said, "But Newt, you signed off on it." And Newt said, "No, I didn't." And he said, "Yes, when you were at the Heritage Foundation," which, of course, is a very conservative think tank. And all Gingrich could say was, "Oh, that." It was purely a Republican plan. And the penalty for not having insurance, they called that personal responsibility. So it just kills me when Republicans rail against this program that their people invented.
Wow.
That's weird that they don't want to fight for it now, and they're the ones that instituted it. I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Well, they changed their mind because, you guys speaking up, you guys are, but folks, I'm telling you, this is no play. Don't take this topic lightly. I'm telling you. You need
Dr.
Yes,
so
go
I
ahead.
want to mention that also in closing, that in Massachusetts, there are places where if you have money, you can go and have any test you want done. But if they won't send the results to your doctor. So you may be saying, well, why would you even do that? Because now you can then buy insurance and they can't ding you and say you were predisposed and blah, blah. So you now buy insurance. And by the time these conditions really start to show up with your doctor, now you have insurance for your family. You can say, okay, I'm not going to do well in another 2 years. You can get a couple extra $100,000 insurance policies going or something.
But, as of now, unless I'm wrong about this too, there's a law against pre-existing conditions. You can't deny somebody insurance in America for pre-existing conditions.
You can't.
No, you can just
it's going to cost you.
You
cost
charge
more.
them so much, so it's the same as denied. It's a new way.
That's a good point.
It's a sophisticated way of denying them.
I don't know if you really can charge people more because that's pre-existing conditions again.
And also goes state by state too. So it doesn't apply in every state.
Okay. And one of the things you may be talking about, Elaine, is that people can go get DNA testing to tell them what diseases that they're most at risk for in the future.
No, you can actually go to certain labs, because even in the hospitals, most of the labs are done by computers, done by AI. When they take your blood, they run it through an AI screen. You can actually go to independent labs that will do the exact same thing and give you a readout.
You better go with some monies.
Not what it'll probably cost you less than the hospital. Because I had a few people that do it. So what she's saying is 100% right. It's because it's the same system, Because there is no. Remember, they should take vials of blood and it take you 3-4 days to come back with test results, stuff like that. Now, basically, they inject it, they put it on some swabs, they put it under the AI. AI comes back in like 30-40 minutes with your results.
Oh.
Look, let me Askia, my guest.
Yeah, go ahead.
Give us a closing out remark. When we talk about heal yourself or else what? What are the else? Come on, talk to us. Come on. I saved this to the end of the show because I know you're going to let it rip. What are the ifs?
I'm just going to just repeat what everybody else said. Say it one more time.
Heal yourself or else.
Or else what?
Else what? You know how your daddies...
I died. You ain't got no other choice.
Heal or die, huh?
Yeah, you walking or you're not walking. You're gonna heal. You're gonna get better. Or you're gonna get worse. That's all it is. Just start looking at yourself. I always tell people this. I always remember 6 billion sperms headed for one egg, and you the only one made it.
That's true.
10 billion planets in the Milky Way galaxy and 2 trillion galaxies in the universe, and you here. Find out what you're here for and work on finding yourself. Then you're born again.
And you're not here just to eat, right?
I'm not it.
Eat
and take from everybody else.
They're going to run you out, Dr. Rosie.
I know. You know what I told my kids? we talked about, do you want to be on life support? Now, that's another thing. I wish we had time to talk about that. I see people who've been dead 40 years just now
Yeah.
getting buried and still trying to hang on.
Yeah,
You
one of
know,
them is in the
Still
White
alive.
House.
Well, yeah. And we have one just left the White House too. So yeah.
you know, but then you're going, yeah, when I do my essay planning, sir, do you want to be on life support? Yes. For how long? Long as I last. You
Yeah, I
ain't
heard that.
lasting now. You just
You
breathing.
gone.
You
I
know,
heard that.
folks, I'm saying it doesn't make sense. Look, talking, my hobby, I hate to tell y'all, but I eat properly. I eat the right food. My hobby is eating and talking. So, so I told my kids when I can no longer eat
Mhm.
and I can no longer
So
talk,
if you can't talk, it's it. It's over.
that's
Right?
it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I don't need no machine, nothing
You're ready
keeping
to
me
go.
here. If I can't eat and I can't talk, life ceased for me.
Wow.
Okay?
Now I know why we became friends so quickly.
Is that one of your hobbies too?
Yeah, birds of a feather.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
So, folks, we have so many things we got to think about. We got to think about being in this life. We got to think about ending this life. Because, I mean, we just really have to think about it. You know, you got people. Go ahead, Askia, you're my
No,
guest.
I'm just saying what the common sense thing. See, one thing our parents did not have, because I'm 69 years old. I'm only third generation out of slavery.
Okay.
So my mama didn't have a lot of education, but what they had was called common sense. We got to start using common sense and understanding that life is based on certain things. Everything comes from nowhere. Everything comes from nowhere. But when you bring a thought to nowhere, nowhere says now here. Spell nowhere and spell now here, the same word. We just have to understand. You know, a lot of times people think they're giving facts, and it's only an opinion. You know, and if you don't know something and you don't know it, go ask somebody that does know it. Then you will know it.
Yeah, and people who don't know it, they talk
Yeah.
the loudest. Why do people think because I say it loud, that makes it right? Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah.
They're spitting out ignorance. I've heard so many people, stop spreading ignorance. You don't know what you're talking about. Go sit down somewhere.
Where do you learn more from, talking or listening?
Mhm.
You learn
Listening.
by listening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys, we're going to do another whole show coming up. We're going to talk about black nurses. We have Donna Fletcher out of Atlanta who's
Hello.
with us, and there's been a push on really getting rid of and not having black nurses in some of these facilities.
Okay.
And a lot of people didn't know it was happening, but it is real. You know.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we had a nurse shortage.
That's what I say, you know.
That's why we're bringing them from other places that we're shipping from state to state. We got a shortage because we don't want to use the black nurses. Once the other people get in, they want to bring in their own people.
Yeah, and Dr. Milligan, I'm building the awareness about this issue. I do have a petition right now where, as you mentioned about the shortage, I ask, how is it that there's a shortage and you have hundreds of black nurses out of work? How is it?
Can you imagine that a RN out of work? Ain't no way in hell.
Oh yeah.
A hospital would be running. If I wanted a job as because we got to come together, united, and make the public, make people aware.
Didn't a lot of nurses retire right after COVID? It just dropped. It got out of the business.
A lot of them got busy because they started being traveling nurses making $2,000 a day. It's on and cracking. You work as a nurse as a year, you can build your mansion. If I wanted to go out and work as a nurse, in 1 year I could at least make $500,000 just doing nursing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that is true. I did the research on Google, and I do have a podcast on YouTube.
Okay. What's the name of the podcast?
I found out. I'm sorry?
What's the name of your podcast?
It's at DMF Nursing.
Okay.
Yeah, I found out that according to Google, they're saying Black nurses are out. They're not in the profession. A lot of them have dropped out.
That's what I heard.
I don't think that's true. They
Okay.
also said that they have not applied for uninsurance, or they're not applying for what do you call that? Unemployment. They're not applying. Now, I have not worked in 1 year.
Okay.
I'm a critical care nurse. I'm an ER nurse.
Mhm.
And I tell you, every job that I applied to, nothing.
Mhm.
And I have not dropped out. I'm still looking.
Okay.
And the job there, I'm just not getting it.
Yeah, it's
So
a group of nurses that came to me here in LA.
Mhm.
You know, Linda, they were fighting for the fact that they put them on the no-show list, all types of stuff they were doing to Black nurses.
Yeah.
But there was nobody to stand up for them. So I hope that can end. I hope that. But Don, I want to bring you back on the show
Yeah.
to really talk about what's happening to
Well,
nurses in
a lot-
the medical field. And one day, maybe we'll even get some physicians to come on and talk about, because you know, when you go to school all these years,
Mhm.
and your mom didn't spend all this money and you didn't pay, you become ashamed to let the public know how you being treated as a medical doctor.
Mhm.
It's not always good for them either.
Mhm.
But nobody want to come out and talk about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
they don't want to get blackballed.
Yeah, I have talked about it, and I see where I'm getting the pushback, but I think things are happening. Certainly, the Board of Education downgraded the profession of nursing, and I have been talking to the EEOC about the issue, and I think that's something is happening right now.
Oh, they may just want to bring clinical assistant. You know, it's more money. Y'all making too much money.
They downgraded is because
They're paid well.
no. It was less about pay. It's about school loans. It's about school loans. Because if it's a professional degree, then you actually get double the amount of school assistance as far as loans is concerned. So that's why they did it.
No, really, Keith, they are trying to bring down the level of care to pay less money. They tried to get rid of nurses' aides, but now they want to bring them back. A lot of hospitals didn't have nurses aides, or had to be all licensed nurses. But nurses are making so much money now, they want to bring that back. So it's a whole big stuff. We're going to bring you on, Donna, to talk about what's happening in the medical field with Black folks. Black folks are discriminated in every industry that you can think about now. Is few of us there. I don't care what it is. So we really need to take a look at it. We're running out of time. Askia, you want to say a final word for us? What do we need to do? Heal ourselves or else what? Well, it seemed like he got muted. He said, if you are going to heal yourself or else you are going to be out of here.
Out of hell.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Heal or die.
Love you. Look for you. Only person that's lost is you.
Oh.
Go find yourself.
You know what? I was singing a song, you guys. We closed the other day. I was sitting in my office. I was singing a song that my grandmama used to sing. It's me, oh Lord. Standing in need of prayer.
Amen.
Not my mother, not my father, not my sister, not my brother, but it's me, oh Lord. Standing in need of prayer. So you got to take responsibility. You guys, clock on the wall said that's all. Dr. Berry, good to see you again. I don't know why we've been missing you. Brenda ain't said a word today. Dr. Andre, glad you were on. Everybody that was on the show, we appreciate you. You all need to spread the word. Tell them to turn off of Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 5. This is the show. This is Real Talk. You guys have a great day.
Just listen today.
Bye-bye. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.